Hi, thank you for joining me again. Alice Wheaton here. And what we're going to talk about in this video is the 5 levels of competency, the path to becoming the top performer in any field that you're in. And the first one, of course, is unconscious incompetence. What that means is that when we're going to a new job, we don't know what we don't know. I went from being an emergency room intensive care nurse to being the first woman on the team in the branch at Xerox in Toronto. And my sales manager, Bill Irwin, who was the best sales manager in the world then, and I'm sure now, he was concerned because I knew nothing about sales. But I managed to sell my way into that job, and looking back, I now know that I had no idea what I didn't know. And so the next stage, of course, was that I joined Xerox and I began to be clear on what I didn't know. For instance, one of the words I didn't understand in business was amortization. I had no idea what that meant, and it took me a while to understand it until someone explained it to me. Well, do you own a house? Yes. Well, the house you're going to pay for in 25 years, that's amortization. Oh, okay. So with each day, my competence level rose and rose and rose, and until I became quite successful. At that point, I became consciously competent. Now, most salespeople are in the massive middle. They are, anywhere from 75 to 100% of their sales plan. And even the salespeople who are underperformers have the capacity to move into the big game hunter and closer realm. And a lot of times what's missing is skills, not their attitude. What's missing in the skills. What is it that takes an average performer to become a top performer? Most salespeople don't really know this consciously. And then they become really successful, and year after year after year after year, they make their budget, and they become unconsciously competent. And the unconscious is really important because sales becomes easy then. They don't have the typical fear, doubts, and insecurities that an average salesperson has. But it's hard for them to teach. So a sales manager who's had great sales success will often take one of his salespeople out to on a call and say, "Watch what I do." Well, that's not an effective way of training because the person sitting next to the sales rep has got to interpret all of their behaviors, and they're so busy watching the dynamics and trying to listen, and then they have to splice it all together. So it's not exactly a desired state to be in, because when you're unconsciously competent, you can't create systems and processes and benchmark yourself to find out reason why. Until you become constantly vigilant. Consciously vigilant. Someone who is consciously vigilant are going to be wanting to know what is it they do, why do they do it, and how do they execute on a minutia level. So how do they manipulate all the various aspects of their sales process in order to obtain the kind of success that they have. Those are the kind of people that can be sales trainers. Those are the kind of people that can be great sales leaders because they don't just tell their salespeople what has to be done and why they have to do it, but they're able to sit and hold a strategy session. They're able to go on calls. They're able to plan the call with them, to track it, and to give them tools on a consistent basis. So the idea is to be consciously vigilant. Now, we talked about procrastination and perfectionism in a video or two ago. And so you cannot really achieve this particular level of your sales success, becoming a trusted advisor, if you are a perfectionist. Because the path along the way is one of learning. And in order to learn, you have to be a beginner. And so a perfectionist has the idea that I can't do what I don't know how to do. a consciously vigilant person is going to be looking for challenges, looking for things that they don't know how to do, and then step into that. So, thank you for being with me today, and I want to wish you great success as you trudge this road to your happy sales destiny. Bye for now, and see you next time.